And we're back on Create Academy, and this is going to be a really fun episode because we're really going to get started on our first real Create project. And I think I want to get to the point where we can even have a train in this episode starting to mine through the mountain. But first things first, in the last episode, I didn't actually claim most of these quests, so we actually have a lot here that are finished. But I also noticed some of these I really shouldn't have, like craft your first shop. And I also noticed over here a lot of the brass stuff is unlocked already. Don't really know how that happened, but I can go through here and claim all the andesite level stuff. There are some things we still haven't done. Like I haven't crafted enough gearboxes. We haven't done tunnels yet. But we can go through here and collect a lot of stuff. But you know what? Isn't there a claim all button? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I can just click that and claim everything. And yeah, we just got a ton of cogs, which means we can come in here. We have 10 cog boxes to claim, which can give us coins, shines, and other stuff. So go ahead, claim those, and we can place them down. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Isn't that a cool sight? Look at all the cog boxes ready for us to open. So let's go ahead and get started. 60 coins, pretty good. 11 coins. Ooh, 60 coins was really good apparently. And we got a travel totem. That's pretty cool. So that'll take us to like a random location. I don't know the range on that, but yeah, we'll have to check that out at some point. And we got, ooh, a mythic death totem. What does that do? Teleports you to your last death location. That's so helpful. Ooh, that's gonna be nice, especially if we end up going to the Nether today. Another travel token, very nice. Another death totem, can't complain about that. Another death totem, man, we're getting some good rewards here, these last few boxes. More coins, 30 of them, pretty good. A heal totem, revive yourself if you're bleeding and give yourself a full heal. That's better than the death totem. That's really useful. Sweet. And our final box gives us another heal token. Awesome. Cool. So we got some pretty sweet consumables there. And also plenty of coins. We now have, how do I see how many coins we have? 116. We have 116 coins we can spend, which is pretty sweet. Now, as for what we actually need to gather in today's episode, first, we need a bunch of drills. I don't know if I'm going to go for the full amount, which I believe is a 7x7 area, but we can at least get started on collecting up drills. We also need a track maker, so we're probably have to look at our recipes here. Yeah, we'll probably just go for a wood type train track because that way we can use like a wood slab in here because we do have crate seam and rails, so we can just craft up a birch train track. Same cost nugget wise, but it will be cheaper because we don't need to gather stone. The other thing I'm going to need is a few train casings to make our train stations and actually build our train, which means we are going to need sturdy sheets, which means of course we are going to need powdered obsidian and lava. So that means probably we're going to be doing another trip to set up a casing factory. So that brings us to today's goal, which is just to drill the mountain. And for that, we need to gather drills, build a track machine, and we also need to build a sturdy sheet machine. So that seems pretty achievable in today's episode, so we will pop that right down there so we can reference what we're working on. And first step is to gather up drills. I have quite a bit of iron here, but I definitely need to craft some of it down into our andesite casings, which means we need to go find an andesite vein. So let me get some food, which we are running low on, but that won't be too bad. I can cook some up here. I'll get some food. We'll go find some andesite and mine it out. All right, first step, andesite is acquired. So we're going to go ahead and mix up a bunch of that into alloy. And in the meantime, to make our drills, okay, we don't actually need plates. We just need andesite, alloy, and casing. So that should be pretty simple. We're going to get a stack out of this, which means as we need 4 per drill, that's going to get us 16 drills. So that'll be enough to, I think, get started because a 16 would give us a 4x4 space. I don't know, that's kind of close to 7x7. Might just rip out the rest of this andesite and we might be able to get our full-size drill right off the bat, the 7x7. So Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and go straight for that. Okay, and with that, it didn't take long. I think we have enough to make, 47 drills. Looks like I didn't quite make enough. So we'll go ahead and mix up the rest of this, and hopefully that gets us enough. Okay, 8 more alloy I think is going to be enough. 47, 48, 49. So there we go. There is our 49 drills ready to start drilling. So we'll drop them in the sack where we collect all our stuff. Check that off. Next is we need to build a track machine. So that is going to require some deployers. Oh, which is going to need brass. So I think it's time for another trip because to make brass, we need a blaze burner under this. So to do that, I think there is a portal nearby just over this mountain. So I'm going to fly on over there. We're going to see what kind of state it's in and if we can fix it up. Otherwise, I think I'll just hunt down some magma blocks, because one cool thing in the crate mod you can do is you can actually wash magma blocks and turn them into obsidian. And actually, you know what? We're just gonna do that, because I think that portal is, I mean, I know for sure it's missing blocks, but this way we can have our portal right by our base. I got some magma gathered. I also stopped by a swamp and waited for night to gather some slime blocks because we will need those to stick our contraption together. And one thing I did is I squeezed a campfire behind here, so that way when we have nothing here, we can be smoking, so we can actually cook up our food. And oops. I'll replace that campfire. Anyway, I also put this chest here so we can swap out a water and lava bucket, so that way we can have our smelting setup also be a washing setup. And yeah, let's get that campfire lit again. I can't believe I did that. That's hilarious. But yeah, this will wash up into obsidian. So we now have our obsidian collected. So we can make our nether portal, and I think we got this little creepy cave off to the side, and I think this will be a pretty nice little spot to throw our nether portal in. So I'll grab another one of those flame charges, and I need a stone to cover this up. And we'll run down here and make our nether portal. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Go like that, and let's see what we get. And we're in a warp. Not the worst spawn ever. You know, it's not a basalt delta, that's for sure. But also not the best. Like, we might have some trouble finding a fortress, especially because it seems like a pretty closed off spawn. But, you know, it'll do. So yeah, I will go do some exploring. Oh, probably craft a blaze burner first, because that'd be kind of silly if we found a spawner before actually having a blaze burner. So we'll grab maybe 10 right away. No, that's 40 iron. I don't want to spend that. Maybe we'll grab like 3 to start off with, because we're not going to need some of them for a bit. But yeah, okay, and I'm in. I may have lost my nether portal, but we can find it again. But I did find a fortress, so we can just run around and start grabbing some blazes. I only grabbed enough for 3. Looks like this place has been explored before, so maybe no nether for us. But with looter, we should still get some chest loot, and I mean, we'll definitely find some blazes around. So yeah, we'll do some exploring. Ooh, bucket of mulch. What's that mulch? Well, that's what it is. It's so cute. Looks like we've made a friend. That's fantastic. There's some more blazes. So we'll just run in here, snag these guys, avoid the wither skeleton, and get out of here. I did bring obsidian with me, so worst case scenario, we can just make a portal and make our way back. Or actually, you know, there's a few claims around here. Like, I wonder if I go to this claim up here, if there'll be another portal in it. That's worth a try, at least, you know? Oh, there is! That's awesome. So yeah, we'll use this to get back to the overworld, and then make our way back to base where we can start actually crafting up some brass, which is awesome. You know, I was making my way back, and I ended up kind of far, and I totally forgot that there are commands here. It's a server, so I could do /home. So yeah, if you have your base, you can do /set home, And then you can do /home to return back at any moment. So I really didn't need to know my way back. But we've got our blaze, which we can drop there. And I am out of zinc, but we'll need to get some zinc. But we can mix zinc and copper up here and start gathering brass. Okay, zinc acquired. So I should be able to drop this in here along with some copper. Heat it up, and it should mix up and give us brass, which will allow us to craft up deployers so we can start making tracks. And honestly, I think we really just want to choose between birch and oak tracks. And I think we'll go oak tracks, which means we need oak slabs and then 2 deployers and a press. Is there any way to automate slabs through auto crafting? Which means we need polished quartz, which I'm going to need those for the deployers anyway. So that means, oh, we need redstone. I was able to gather some quartz there from the nether, but we do need some redstone. So I guess we're doing a little bit more cavings. All right, so it's time to make some rose quartz. So I'm going to craft up 6 of these, which is all I have enough for. I had a lot of trouble finding redstone, surprisingly. I kind of hit a deep dark pretty quick down there, so we kind of had to abandon ship. But I'm going to put the sandpaper in my offhand and sand down this rose quartz. And then we can go ahead and make all these up. And then I need to combine those with iron sheets. And that's going to make our electron tubes, which are going to allow us to actually craft up those 3 mechanical crafters. We also need some for deployers. So we're going to also need 2 deployers, which are also going to require 1 of those. Oh, that was dumb. I put my iron sheets here to crush them up. Whoops. So we'll crush up that iron for real this time. We also are going to need some more casings. So I'm going to need 2 andesite casings for these guys and then 1 for our mechanical crafters. And I do need to grab some brass because we need to make a brass casing for our mechanical crafter, which means we need to... Oh, we don't need a casing. We just use a stripped log. So we'll grab our stripped log, make it a casing, pick that up. Now that I have these, I can run over here, craft up some tubes, craft up our mechanical crafters, like so. And then I also need a brass hand, which means I'll need 4 sheets, and I'll also need an andesite alloy. I guess 2 of those, and we'll need 8 sheets. So now we can craft up our 2 brass hands and our 2 deployers. So now we should be able to craft up slabs automatically, deploy our 2 nuggets, and then we also need a press, but I think I'm out of iron. We don't have enough iron for the press. But yeah, so I'm going to go get the press, and then I'm also going to get a belt set up, and we will put together automation. I mean, I think that's pretty much going to be it. Okay, so I've finally crafted up everything I think we're going to need. So to start, we're going to have 3 mechanical crafters, and we just want these all going into each other like so. And then we, of course, need to feed these up with some wood. So we'll just have to kind of balance it between these 3 chests for now. Maybe we can put like a belt up here. Or actually, you know what? Let's just do that right away. Save ourselves some time. So I'm going to put a belt on top of these crafters. Or actually, we want it a block up. So we want chutes and then a belt above that. So that way we can essentially throw our chest here and a chute here, so our parts will flow down. Wood will automatically fill up these 3 crafters. So that's going to be step 1. And then step 2 is we need 2 deployers and a press. So we'll have a press at the end, and then our 2 deployers. I want those facing down like so. So deployer, and a press. So then we need these 2 filled up with iron, and for that we're just going to do 2 chutes like that, and then we'll just connect this chest and it'll automatically split between the 2, putting its nuggets down into these deployers. So that should be our rail machine. So I will get this all powered up and we will be able to let it go. Last thing, of course, need a chest at the end, and I'll just put a funnel right here on the side. Okay, so here is our finished train track maker. I did have to add a chest and a chute here, so that way like the crafter has somewhere to go. But I can now fill this guy up with planks. So we'll go ahead and just throw a ton in there so we can start crafting up our slabs. And then I also have a bunch of nuggets, which we will throw in this chest. And once that slab is crafted, it should go through here, get the first nugget and the second nugget, and then it'll get pressed. And there we go. Our first train track is ready to go. So we're just gonna let that run for probably a pretty long time in the background, just kind of gathering up tracks, and we'll store them up, and pretty soon here we should be able to start working on our machine. So we can go ahead and check off track machine. So the last thing we need to do is build a sturdy sheet machine. Now for that, do need powdered obsidian and lava. So for lava, we'll probably just go to the nether. I haven't found a big lava vein here, so we'll probably go to the nether, find an infinite source and use that. But for powdered obsidian, we are going to need crushing wheels, so that means we need to set up a mechanical crafter. Now I did expand my power because we ran out with the track machine, so I now have 2 sets of wheels. So I'm going to hope that that's enough to run a mechanical crafter, so I will gather all the materials, craft up some more brass casings, and we should be good to craft up that crafter. Alright, so I got mechanical crafter set up. I did have to go ahead and add a 3rd set of water wheels, so I think what we'll probably do is put a clutch on this guy so we can turn this off, so that way like we can choose between the crushing wheels or the crafter, because both are going to use a lot of power. But I believe this should be ready to go. Oh, I need some stone. I have it smelting up over here. So now we should get our first 2 crushing wheels. Of course, really slowly, like everything else in the space. There they are. First crushing wheels. And now we are ready to crush some obsidian, but I do want to test. Oh, we do have enough stress to run them. Okay, that's awesome. Maybe we'll like throw them over here or something. Get some powdered obsidian and then head to the nether so we can start working on setting up our sturdy sheet machine. And crushing wheels are now set up, so we can go ahead and dump our obsidian in here. It'll get crushed down, and what's cool, it looks like we had some stone go through there. What's cool is that you not only get the crushed obsidian, but you also get a little bit of obsidian back. So like when I look at our recipe here for crushed obsidian, you get powdered obsidian, and then you also get obsidian. So basically we could just feed this through forever, gathering infinite powdered obsidian. So I'll probably feed this through quite a few times, get maybe 2 stacks of powdered obsidian, because once we actually go and craft this, lava's going to be infinite. This is just pressing it twice. We can craft up as much as we want really easily, so I'll get this fed through. I'm also going to craft up a spout, 2 presses, and then a belt to run it, and then obviously some power, which I think we'll just do water wheels in the nether using lava. Okay, so right out of our portal, right down this little ravine here, we have lava, so it's super close to our base, which is going to be really nice. So we're going to grab a shaft, bring it out like so, and then I need a spout, and then our 2 presses. So it'll be spout, press, press. And I think I will turn these like that so we can just power them together. And then going into the spout, we're going to have a pipe coming out like this, and then a pulley at the end. And I'm going to use this handle I crafted, and we'll use that to just kind of send it down. Oh no! Ugh. I'm getting a little too comfortable with the jetpack. Okay, so I'm going to turn this all the way to 180. And now, as I turn this, we'll drop it down. And I'm just going to basically drop it down into like the first layer of lava is probably all we're going to need to do. I'm going to assume that's 5,000 blocks. 1,000 blocks. I think it's 1,000 source blocks to make an infinite source. It wouldn't hurt to drop it down a second block. So drop it down 2 blocks and then throw a pump in here, power everything up, and that's gonna be our farm. Okay, so we're 1 block in, move that down 2 blocks in. Okay, and that should definitely be enough. And then I have more than enough water wheels. I'm gonna imagine we're only gonna need like 1 or 2 of these, but I'll find a spot over here, gear them up to speed it up a bit, connect everything up, and we should be ready to run in just a few minutes here. So I'll bring you guys back in. We're ready to start making our first sturdy sheets. Okay, so everything is all hooked up and it's looking very mechanical. I didn't bring a lot of stuff, so I just had some extra cogs to hook up our bottom belt, but it should work out just fine. So now I can drop obsidian here. It'll get spouted on with the lava. Then it'll get pressed and pressed again. And there is our obsidian sheet, or sturdy sheet. So we'll just do that a bunch and then we should be ready to start making some trains. Okay, so that wasn't expected. So I was just going for some redstone and happened upon a deep dark. I don't even know what this thing is called. But yeah, this is like right under my base. So I'm gonna... I know you can get some pretty good loot from this stuff. Oh, saddle. Finally got a saddle. That's pretty good. Yeah, I might sneak around here and kind of see what we can find. Ooh, that's not good. I don't know if I'm gonna loot a lot of this yet. Okay, this is spooky. This is real spooky. Oh, diamond tool. Okay, I mean, can't leave that behind, even if it's not incredibly useful. I don't know. I think I need to get out of here. I really just need to get some redstone. I don't need to be exploring this and trying not to die right now. Nope. Nope. Jesus. Yeah, that was scary. I'll have to go back down for some redstone. Okay, so everything is collected and we can go ahead and check off sturdy sheet machine. It looks like somebody left a little note. That's awesome. But I've got all of our stuff here. So I'm going to grab the sack, and the server's having a little bit of lag right now. But we can pop this down here. We're going to grab our station and a casing. And also we'll grab some rails. And now for this first run, I'm not going to build like the final version of the train yet. Essentially what I want to do is build a version of the train to build our path, which is why I went ahead and crafted up some mechanical rollers. And essentially what these are going to do is they're going to break the 3 blocks in front of them, but then they also place blocks underneath. So if we hit a gap, it'll actually automatically be placing the blocks underneath. And I think we're going to need to back this up a little bit, just because I also want a deployer here automatically placing tracks. So we'll pull this off, and maybe we'll actually like start all the way back here. And I want these set to, yeah, clear blocks and pave, I think is going to do what we want. Then we need our deployer behind all of this. So we'll do that, I think is going to be our deployer in place. And we also want to filter it out here. So that way it has tracks only going in. So now all we're going to have to do is connect this up and connect this up. And then I'm going to also want some drills on the front here. Where did I put my little bag of goodies? Oh, over here. So we're going to take some drills and we'll probably do, I don't know, we'll do 2 high so that way we can kind of ride on the back of this thing as it works its way through the mountain. Like that, and that'll be kind of our starter train before we build like the full 7x7. So the last step is I'm just going to close that up, going to place our seat and our controls, and now we just need a bunch of chests. So I'm going to craft up a bunch of barrels. We'll get this thing filled up, and we should be ready to work our way through the mountain as long as I did everything right there. Oh, and I did realize I forgot one thing I want to do is on these guys, we're going to pull off this bottom layer of drills. And that's because I want to put in cobblestone here as like a filter. Okay, I guess we're going to pull all the drills off so we can get access to it. But I want to put cobblestone here as a filter so that way it's building our bottom path out of cobblestone. So now we should be ready to glue it together and give it a test. So we'll combine those. We will craft up our super glue and glue this all together just like that. And let's go ahead and see if this goes together well. And it does, perfect. So we'll name this Tunnel 4V1. And we're going to put our name there. So if anybody else has a Tunnel 4V1, that way they know this one's mine. So now we can go ahead and start controlling it. And we should start working our way through. Oh, we're going to get stuck because our deployer doesn't have tracks. So we'll go ahead and grab all of our tracks and we'll just fill this in. We have quite a few stacks, so hopefully this is enough to make it all the way through the mountain. I think it should be. We'll just pick this one right by our head to fill up. Now we can start working our way through. And look at that. So it's mining, it's placing the cobblestone, and it's placing our track. So it seems like everything is working as intended. I'll bring you guys back in once we hit the other side of the mountain. All right, and so we've got our path dug all the way through the mountain. Now, I wasn't able to actually break through the other side because all the way over here, it's still like hilly. So this acacia biome is still pretty high up, so we didn't actually break through, but we did get pretty far. And we have a little turnaround at the end. So now we should be done with this train. And I do kind of want to keep it together. So I have prepped a spot over here where I can just throw down some tracks and we can pick this up with our wrench. And then we can just leave it up here for now. I'll also come through and empty this out. And we got not a ton of stuff, but we got 30 copper, 18 iron, tons of cobblestone, tons of gravel and sand and stuff. So yeah, a pretty good first run. And now it's time that we build our big 7x7 train. I'll run it through once and then we'll see what, like, it still won't be a full run because obviously we've already dug the center tunnel, but it still should be a pretty good run. And we'll see what kind of goodies we get out of there. Okay, so that is our little mining train. It's nothing fancy, but it really doesn't have to be. It's mainly barrels and drills. But assuming I built this right, I should be able to assemble it. And we can. So we'll give it a name. And the last step is to just drive. And full transparency, you may have noticed this diamond pickaxe. Somebody did stop by and give that to me. So, you know, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Definitely nice to have a really good pickaxe. But we should be good to take our first train trip through the mountain. And as you can see, I even got like a cool bogey on here. So with steam and rails, you have like different options. So I have this like really cool 3-wheeled bogey that I was able to put on, and it looks really cool. Very like industrial for our industrial train. So yeah, I will work my way through the mountain and we'll take a look at what kind of loot we can get from just a single trip of this machine. Sweet, and with that, we have our first tunnel dug all the way through. I'm going to go through and light up this base because the next step is we're going to take these drills, put them up, then go back and forth, then put them up again all the way up to the top of the mountain. Then we're going to do the opposite and go down all the way and basically mine out this whole strip. And then once we're done with that, then we can move left, we can move right, we can slowly eat away at this mountain. Now, out of here, we didn't get a ton of resources. Like we got 18 iron out of here, 104 coal, a little bit of emeralds. Out of here, we got 256 copper, which is pretty good, and 128 coal. But what the real purpose of this is going to be for isn't going to be for the raw resources, which we are going to take and process. But like if we look here, we got 8,000 cobblestone out of this one and another 4,000 in this one, if it shows up. And essentially 12% of those can be crushed and washed to turn into nuggets here, which means we are going to get 1,440 nuggets off of this one strip. Which if we divide that by 9, means that we're going to get 160 iron. Not a crazy amount, but you know, it's still pretty good for just a single strip, and we can do a ton of these. We can do an infinite number of these. And the other thing is, I can take this granite we got out of here, and I mean, we can crush this down too. So if I look at uses on this, I can crush this down to the red sand and then wash that red sand to get gold. So we're also going to get gold out of this. And if we ever run into Viridium, we can also process this down by crushing it, turning it into copper. If we get tough, we can process it down, and we definitely will be getting some tough, especially when we go lower down. We can process that into basically every ore. So in the next episode, we're going to work on a mega processing plant to take all of the raw resources we're getting out of this mining machine, and we're going to turn it down into actual usable ores and stuff, or usable ingots. And I think we're going to be pretty much set for the rest of the season, resources-wise, just using this train, going back and forth, and moving the drills up and down. So if you're excited for that, make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, and I also just want to say thanks for all the people that have dropped by and given me stuff. I have 40 diamonds and 4 more blocks and precision mechanisms. I only found about 15 of those diamonds myself, and those precision mechanisms I did not craft. So thank you everyone for dropping off little presents for me. I really do appreciate it.